Hey, everybody.
Hello, hello.
How is everyone doing on this lovely Saturday night? Um, so my name is Aisha Shermaine, and you can follow me on all social media as such.
Mhm.
Tonight, we are here basically to talk about some things, if you will. And I mean, this is going to be an ongoing conversation, talking about many a things and just, talking about things that need to be talked about that people are afraid to talk about.
I agree.
And just to introduce myself real quick before I hand it over to my beautiful co-host. Again, my name is Aisha Shermaine, and basically what we're going to talk about tonight is self-love, and basically loving ourselves from within. I was brought into this journey because in my life I have gone through some traumatic things, and it took me upon an unexpected journey of self love, of learning me again, of really having to find myself and really knowing what it is I needed and what I wanted in order to give other people expectations of, I guess, how to love me in a sense. So that's what brought me here. And I'm going to go ahead and let my co host introduce herself before we go ahead and get into it.
So, hello. Look, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, where Instagram. Can't forget about Instagram. Hello, everybody. My name is Maya. My name is Maya Jean Leroy on all social media platforms. Like she said, we basically are doing this live because it's so many people that need to hear certain conversations or to be reassured of things because life doesn't come with a book, it doesn't come with
Absolutely.
a life guide. Granted, we're not gonna get into that, but at the end of the day, we need help through this journey. So self love is like the number one thing. My story is a little similar to hers. Like, I am a survivor of domestic violence. I'm a self healing person. I am still on my self love journey. I mean, that's never really going to end. So, yeah, we just have some juicy topics. Not only just juicy, just again things that like some people don't know. I know my big sister taught me that some people don't know how you treat them or how they treat you unless you let them know, which I don't understand, but I guess I do as I've gotten older. So yeah, so we're gonna start off with the first. Well, first we're gonna do an icebreaker. We're gonna do an icebreaker because we did our intro. Feel free to ask any questions y'all have in the chat, or even chime in because we're gonna be asking questions. And we would love for everybody to interact.
Absolutely. And like she mentioned before we get into the icebreaker, we are on several platforms. We are on Facebook, YouTube, IG, maybe TikTok in a minute. But if you are on any of those platforms, please go ahead and share, like, comment in the comments where you are watching from. Let us know you are there. Do not be shy. We are non judgmental people.
Yes,
And we're just looking for open dialogue and dialect and, just to have open conversation. Sometimes it's needed.
very much, very much.
I'm trying to TikTok doing a lot right now.
Per usual. Let me check my Insta. Make sure we're looking good on Insta.
Right. Like give us a second, y'all. We trying to make sure everything looking like it's looking.
Looking like I was supposed to. I'm like, I don't even know if we on the Instagram. Well, mine. It don't show me live, I don't think.
Okay, I found it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we on mine. Well, it don't show though. It's okay. Let's see.
You gotta click into it. But okay. So
Mm,
I see it. I see it. Everything looking good. Okay, so let's go into the icebreaker real quick.
okay. All right, so the icebreaker. This is a good question. I feel like this is a very good question. Um, as you guys see, it's at the bottom of the screen, and again, you guys can feel free to type it in the chat. What brings a smile to your face, no matter how hard your day is? So, of course, most of us watching are adults, right?
Of
And if
course.
you're a child, you should be able to relate as well because I mean, going to school or somebody that is, not of age as of yet, but maybe going to school is not easy. I remember those days hard. So, um, but yeah. So, what is the one thing that brings a smile to your face? For me, when I was in school, it was my bed. It was my bed. I cannot wait to get to my bed and lay down. Like in high school, that was that and like my radio for sure.
I kind
And
of agree with the bed because I remember when I was in high school, I would come home and my mama they used to come home to like maybe 5 or 6. And but before she got home, I'm going to sleep until I know she. Then I'm
I'm
gonna
in the
get up
bed.
and do what I'm supposed to do.
Right, right. Yes, the bed is. That was my love. That was my love.
Yeah.
Um, We don't have anybody typing in the chat as of yet. I know a lot of people may see this later, but we, like she said, we do want it to be, because we want like actual feedback on what we're doing and just to see, because sometimes I think as well, people don't think about what could possibly make you smile, when you're not having a good day. Um, right now, let's see. What's something right now for you, Aisha, that makes
For
you
me, makes me smile and keeps me going, and just when I feel like I'm ready to give up and all of that,
smile?
my kids. Like for me, it's my kids. Like kids don't often realize that. Well, they don't know what they are to us, right? They just know they're kids, they little people. We get them rules they got to follow, whatever, whatever. But for me, it's like I try to have an open relationship with my kids, let them know, it's always good for us to be open with each other and that I'm always here for them. And if I don't know, then I can't do anything about it. But it's like those random days when I am having a rough day and they just come and they give me my hugs and my
Mhm.
kisses and they just like, Mom, you're the best. Like those are the moments that keep me going
Right.
because me dealing with what I have been through, I could easily be anywhere else but where I am. And
Absolutely.
so for me, it's just those moments with my kids, like they don't know how much that helps me and pushes me through. Like, yeah.
You almost made me cry just saying the fact of you could be anywhere in the world right now. And that's the thing, like, not to get off topic, but if you think about like anybody that's watching this, I can guarantee you a year ago from now, 5 years ago from now, 7 years ago, you were in a place that you wanted to get out of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So
Yep, I
and
agree
the
with you.
yeah, and the fact that you're in a better place now, you got to be grateful for that.
Absolutely. So chime in below if you are watching. Again, don't be shy. Let us know what are say the question again, Maya.
You said what?
Say the icebreaker question again, just for
Oh,
those
what
watching.
bring? Yeah, and it's below. Hopefully, y'all can see it, and let us know how the view is as well. Cause let me see. Let me join the chat.
I see it on YouTube, but I can't see it on Facebook.
Okay, I can see it on Facebook, but yeah, I
Okay.
don't see anything in the chat as of now. But it looks good. Look at
Okay.
us. But yeah,
Wait,
so
go
and
ahead.
that's huh.
Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say that this is the part that makes it kind of hard because it's like what makes y'all smile? No, we trying to see. Look, we trying to
Right.
see something.
We trying to learn some things about y'all and maybe something we might have missed about ourselves.
Right, that part. Yeah, that part. But yeah, but anywho, for me, I know the fact of just like sometimes like I could be having a bad moment and just the thought of when I am in a good mood makes me happy if that makes sense. But that's not
Mm-hmm.
the question. the question is, no matter how hard your day is, what makes you smile? It
Yeah.
definitely is my kids. I can't say that it's not. But I think for me, it's just a moment to myself to like kind of reflect on the good life that I have. Like I
Yeah.
could be mad that I burnt the whole pizza that was the only thing for dinner. I could be mad about that, but what'll make me smile is to have a moment to myself that no matter what, that'll make me feel better because I can always reminisce on memories, good memories I have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would be my answer.
Yeah. I think also too, just like that self-reflection period that I have at the end of the day, like once my
Mhm.
kids are asleep and I'm showered
Yeah,
up and I'm getting ready to lay down and I just think back like, oh, a couple years ago I was in a place where I was just ready to give up. And now it's like, my kids are asleep, they got a full belly. I
that
get up every morning, I get them to school and I go to sleep and I do this on my own and it's like I'm able to do this on my own. Like that's
that
another
part.
thing that keeps me going. Like that keeps me pushing and going. It's like they got a
Mhm.
roof over their head. They got a decent life. I'm able to
Like we
travel with
good.
them. They can eat what they want. Like and not to brag on what I'm able to do, but
Absolutely.
there's kids, who don't have it like that. So that's
Mhm.
the other thing. Just like the self reflection moments I have before I go to bed, and I absolutely like, girl, this is a rough day, but you know what? You did that. You did that.
Yes,
You got your
yes.
baby them boots you set out to get, you fed her. So I
Bills
just, you're
paid.
grateful for those small moments too. Yeah.
Look, bills paid. Got a
Right.
couple juice, whatever. Look,
Hello.
water. I got something to
Yeah. Yeah.
drink. So
Yeah.
what else could we be upset about? Like we're
Yeah.
down about nothing.
Nothing. And
Everything's
it's all about too taking those like you said, we could complain about everything negative that goes wrong in our day. But you got to take that moment and think the positive. Because
uh,
that negative could easily take over and then it's just like I had a bad day. And when you really sit back and think on it, I had a bad day because what?
right. Whose fault was it? And that's kind of see, and let's be clear. So because we're gonna get into that, I guess this would be a good transition because I don't think nobody put in the chat there what makes them smile, but it's cool. We discussed ours, so we're
Right.
gonna move on and go ahead and go into what is self love to you, and that's what I was going to touch on. So you could have a bad day, but like you said, why was the day bad? And self love, in my opinion, can be the simple fact of like being upfront and honest with yourself. Maybe your day was bad because it was your fault.
Exactly.
Maybe you don't have what's the word, emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of people are learning what that is. Shout out
Mhm.
to social media because a lot of things we don't know. Um, and what else? I mean, sometimes it can be
Self-control. Like you have to have self-control sometimes because like me, I work in a call center. You too. So
mhm,
it's like we get them customers who want to check us, think they're gonna check us, and it could easily pee us off. Or we could keep that same composure, keep it good, and really let her leave because we didn't give them the energy that they wanted. You know what I mean? So really at the end of the day, you are in control and you have the ability to take that positive stuff and reflect on it and bring a smile to your face and not let it interrupt your day. Or you can let it interrupt your day.
cause listen, this is the topic that's for me. Cause I'm getting
Yeah.
hyped, y'all. Cause like
Right.
what she just said, like, do y'all not realize you have one life to live? Like you literally get one.
Right.
Reincarnation and all that. We're not even gonna discuss that because within this life, this is the current one, whether you were reincarnated or what have you or not, right?
Right.
Listen, y'all, you should not and can as well not allow people to take your joy,
Yeah.
to do anything to you that you don't want done. Like, y'all, I'm so heavy on, like, everybody talking about standing heavy on business. Where's the people standing heavy on themselves, period? Like,
Right. Right.
your business could be yourself, but what I'm saying is like, I get it, the emotional stuff, but baby, me, I'm gonna cut you off so quick, so fast. Cause who you
And
Like
see, I had to learn that. But that goes into that self-love
and
journey.
I'm still learning it. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
still learning.
Yeah.
Still.
And we might as well just go and move in because that's a great transition, like you said, because a lot of times, what is self love? Like
Mm,
people sit and they like self love, self care. They kind of intertwine the two together, and it's just like
mhm.
a facial routine or skincare routine, or for ladies getting your nails and hair done, and for gents it's like buying this bottle of cologne and getting a haircut. And
Mhm.
and true, that is loving yourself,
It
but
is.
that's maintenance. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Whereas loving yourself, what does that truly mean? What does self-love truly mean? And if
Mhm.
y'all here and y'all watching, like, chime in below. What does
Please.
self-love truly mean to you?
To you. Yes, don't be afraid, guys. Chime in.
Right.
I'm on what's this? Facebook.
Hmm.
No comments yet, but if we don't get comments, because we have our own answers. That's why we're here. And I
Right.
just want to be clear because I know it's going to be recorded. People can go back and watch this. So even if you are watching it after the fact, please feel free to chime in and comment. Answer
And
any.
you can even hashtag replay in the comments so we know you're watching the replay and still answer the questions.
Please, yes, please, if y'all could do that hashtag replay. But yeah, so the reason, let's be clear, the reason that we also are doing this is because we want to be the change that we want to see in the world. A lot of ladies and gentlemen, because we in no way at all want to leave out our men, our fellas, our gentlemen,
Absolutely.
like at all. So a lot of us don't have people in our life to help us again on this journey called life. It is hard, and you need somebody to help you, y'all. Sometimes that's another thing. Like as a parent now, I see like how I didn't listen to my parents and how I should have. Because then after the fact, I'm like, like I see how they were telling me not to do this. Because if I do it, this gonna happen, and then in the long run, this is gonna happen. And sure enough, they was right every time. So now at my big age, what you say, do, mama? Okay,
Right.
daddy. So okay, and then okay, I'm all right. I heard, and I do that because yeah. So we're here to be like y'all guidance, y'all guiders, you know what I mean? So
Right.
that's another thing. If y'all ever feel the need to reach out to us privately, please do. If it's a question or something you going on, because we are going to use real life situations. We don't want to do the fairy tale, the sugar on. We're not doing that. If it don't have
Right.
sugar on top, let's not put it on there.
Right.
So we're looking for the answers. What is self
Everything
love?
ain't meant to be sweet.
And everything ain't always sweet.
Definitely. Some stuff you just gotta get it to you as is.
That part. What they say, play with the cars your hand. What am I trying to say?
The cards your hands are dealt. So I know what you're trying to say, but I don't know the
That's how you
phrase.
know I don't say it.
I don't know the phrase all the way, but I know exactly what you're trying to say. Something about
Look, that's
the,
how you,
the
y'all know what I mean. Look.
yeah. Y'all know. Put that phrase below too when y'all see this. Yeah. And share, of course, tag anybody y'all feel, who could use this, who may be going through
Please.
something, really trying to figure out how to love themselves again. Maybe they going through something like a breakup situation with their parents, whatever, and they just trying to really figure out how to get back in tune with themselves. That is what this is all about. This is why we are doing this. And with this, of course, we wanted to start in February because it's love month, and yeah. So gotta
Look,
get into it.
because let's be clear, y'all. Every month is love month, okay?
Right.
Even though this is Valentine's, every day is love, yourself day, all of that. Like, and again, that's kind of the point of this live because we got to start loving ourselves more. That I think that'll be the fix as well to the world
Right.
because everybody be so mad. What you mad about?
Yeah. Ain't nothing to be mad about when you really sit up and think about it. Um, but that goes back to allowing people to control you and your emotions in your day. And that goes back to self love. When you truly and genuinely love yourself, what you mad about? What you
That
mad
part.
about?
What? No, for real. What's really the problem
Exactly.
out there? I
Exactly.
wonder
What?
if I can invite people from this. I don't know if I know how. Let's see.
I don't know. On Facebook, hit your highlight, yo.
Yeah, I see how to share it to like a group, but you know how normally if you go live on your Facebook, you can share it to your people. You know,
Yeah.
I just shared it to one of my other groups. Let's see. I got you something about you.
But yes, so to answer the question, what is self love to you? To me, I just feel like self love is, of course, loving yourself. But like Maya said, it's standing on business about yourself. How you treat yourself is how people feel like they can treat you. So if you are out here and you just wilding out and you doing whatever and you really just don't care, they're gonna feel like they could do the same thing to you, not care about you, none of that. And so I feel like you have to apply pressure about yourself. You have to say no to the things that are not beneficial for you. You have to set boundaries where boundaries are needed. You have to know when it's time to remove people from your life, and you have to stick to that. You also, like, of course, incorporate self-care. If you like to get your nails done, it just like sometimes some of these people, these videos about Ruth Chris and Steak and Shake, because I seen one today where the girl was mad because the man took her to Steak and Shake on the first date. And it's just like, y'all, I'm going a little deep right now, but I feel like it's just
No, no, no.
necessary.
This,
But like,
go ahead.
y'all require all of this, but it's like, can you provide that for yourself while you require the next person? It's standing on business about you, your boundaries, the yeses and nos of your life. Because when you have boundaries in place and when you love yourself enough to the point where people, they see it, it's like, I can't play with her because she don't play with herself. I got to
No.
treat her like this if I'm gonna be about her. But
Hmm.
if you out here playing with yourself and the words I really want to use, I can't. But if you doing what you want to do, whether you are male or female, that's what you're gonna get back. It's basically what you put out about yourself is what you're gonna get back. That's the
Period.
bottom line to it. My definition. But Maya, go ahead and add to that.
No, and I agree. So the thing with this is that the reason we picked this topic is because you can't just say, "Oh, well, self love." I mean, you can. Don't get me wrong. You can say whatever you want. Let's not get that twisted.
Absolutely.
But self love is deeper than, like she said, getting your hair done, taking care of your skin, your teeth, your clothes. Making sure you're being presented correctly, whether it's your attitude. Self love is well. And I'm gonna go the to me where it really starts, and like how you kind of teach kids, right? And some of us, we
Mhm.
are still children, and we're gonna get into that because I think this would be a good transition to go into that. Um, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
The whole world could think you are hideous, and so what?
Exactly.
It does not matter. I promise you, it don't matter. The whole world could think you fat, too skinny, too chocolate, too light skinned, hair too long, too short. Why you don't have fake nails on yet? Like the list can go on and on and on. But I've seen people that like if I was to show a picture of them, most people would be like, yeah, they're not pretty, but that person have more confidence than you ever will,
You're
and that's
right.
the thing. That's self love.
Right.
He or he love themselves so much that you can't tell them nothing, and that's how it should be. I know it's hard. Let's not get that twisted. I know it's super hard. It
Right.
is. It took me years not to be embarrassed. Now it's so hard for me to be embarrassed. It's happened before. I'm walking and I realize like I'm just, touching on my clothes, and I realize it's a whole hole in the back of my pants. And I'm in public. I'm like, don't get me wrong. Did I like kind of was like, oh my goodness, like it's a hole in my pants? Yeah, but I'm not embarrassed. People probably sitting there. I'm not embarrassed. Like it was a mistake. The pants is from wherever it's from. They cheap. They started tearing.
Stuff happens.
Stuff happens. Just like another story. Like at Sonic, I was working at Sonic on the roller skates. I was that girl. Okay, I was that girl, and I was doing my thing. But I failed. I failed, and the food went up in the air. Typical little situation. And I wasn't embarrassed though. I was not. The person was mad. The manager handled it, what have you. But I wasn't embarrassed because it's like it happens. Like at least I'm out here making money. So the
Right.
same person who probably talking about me is the same person who got to ask their cousin for $20 because they don't have no income. So
Exactly.
now I say, look, I be lit about self love because one thing I do is really love myself. Because who said
Right.
what? Oh, okay.
Exactly. And two, with self love, it's a little bit more to it than that. Like self confidence, self esteem, self evaluation. And I'm gonna say that one more time, a little louder
Say it with your
for the folks
chest.
in the back. Self evaluation. Oftentimes, we get into these situations, whether man or woman, we go through whatever we go through, and we always quick to point the finger at Tom, Harry. Okay, y'all know the words that go right there. But we
Mm-hmm.
always quick to point the finger at the next person when stuff go wrong. And sometimes, if multiple things keep happening, it's like a life cycle. You keep having the same experiences and it keeps going and going and going. At some point, you got to evaluate yourself.
You have
You
to.
got to evaluate yourself. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm this, I'm that. But you ain't have to do that, Aisha. You ain't have to cuss that boy out like that. You didn't have to point out his messed up hair. Like you gotta evaluate self and take accountability for your wrongdoings. You will
Mm-hmm.
never, I say, get to another place or learn the lessons in those life cycles is what I call them when it's constantly happening, happening, happening. When you don't take accountability for yourself and the actions that you put into the situation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things takes two. An argument, if I'm sitting here arguing by myself, or if I'm saying something to Maya and she never responded, that's on me. Cause why you steady talking to her and she ain't said a word?
Ain't
She ain't
worried
said a
about
word.
you.
Like, come on, you gotta know when to stop.
No, exactly, exactly,
Like, it's
exactly.
crazy. But a lot of people are afraid to evaluate self. A lot of people feel like, you know, well, I didn't do nothing wrong. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you was wrong. You know you was wrong for that. Like,
You know
come
you
on.
was wrong, but
Yeah, you
you
gotta take
some people,
accountability.
and I feel like that is a task. It is. It's a task to do, but it is something that has to be done. It really is.
Right.
Because the like if I'm being honest, the self evaluation is pretty hard because you do have to look in the mirror and kind of tell yourself like it's kind of like a battle with yourself because who wants to be wrong? Nobody wants
Right.
to be wrong or you know kind of reprimand themselves and like you just said, like Maya, you was wrong for swinging at that person just because they was like, or
Exactly.
like you was wrong for talking bad to that person. You could have just left it alone and left it alone
Exactly.
and left it alone. Cause once you get some people started, they just it's hard to
Right. But
stop.
some people never think that they are in the wrong. And that's crazy
Mm,
because sometimes we are wrong. Sometimes we are wrong.
you
Our actions are wrong. Our words are wrong. And we have to take accountability for our wrongdoings. You are
ex-
never going to what's the word I want to say? Like you're never going to experience, I guess, different or truly be real with yourself, as some of y'all like to say, the realness, if
Hmm.
you just don't think you ever do anything wrong.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's like I know people personally who do it's pretty hard. Like they may hear you and say, okay, well, so I hear y'all. I was wrong for hitting her, right? But on the flip side, they try to um get somebody basically to agree with them, get somebody to verify like, so but she did this first. She wasn't hugging me fast enough. So yeah, I swung on her, I hit her. And it's like, I'm right, right? It's like, no, you still were wrong. Like they some people try to literally find a way for them to be right in a
Right.
situation, but you're not. And
Right.
that's the end of it.
And
Period.
then this too, because you got those people who you go to, and even though you wrong, they not gonna tell you wrong. They gonna make you feel like you right, and you got to move those people out your life too, because you need people around you who are going to be real with you and let you know when you are wrong, you are wrong.
He was
Even
wrong.
if it's like a family member, and maybe they stand with you in public, but when we get in private, listen, I had your back while we was in public, but you
Hmm.
what you did to kick that off, that was
You know it's
absolutely wrong.
wrong.
Hold on,
Exactly.
bro.
Hmm.
Go ahead. I can hear
Oh
you.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so basically with that I feel like that basically what she's saying is like growing, like you have to be okay with learning how to grow, right? Because I feel like just nobody's perfect, right? We know that nobody's perfect, but if you want to be a good person, I just feel like it number one, it does need to be constructive, right? So like if you have somebody you always talking on the phone with, which this has happened. So in family member and a friend, this has happened to me. And I love talking to these two people, right? I love talking to them. But they always interrupted me. Like while I'm having a conversation, like I could be in the middle of whatever, a two second sentence, you know what I'm saying, a story, they interrupt me. And I'm like, you don't hear me? Hello? Hello? Yeah. You don't hear me saying something? Oh, I thought you how you ain't no way
Right.
you thought I was done talking. So right, so boom. I, being the real person, I tell them like, "Hey, I love talking to you, but you low key be robbing me of the conversation. You talk
Right.
over me. You don't listen to me sometimes, and the conversations be good, but it's in those people." If they and again this is still considered self-love because if you love yourself enough and you know that I love you to tell you these things and I want to see you grow, you should be accepting of it, right?
Exactly.
And not be on some and this has happened. Well, I don't be interrupting you. I don't be hearing you.
Right.
Ain't no way you don't be hearing me.
I always
But
got the excuse.
an excuse, a rebuttal, an
Yeah.
excuse in trying to find a way for them to be right. Well, I think your phone be breaking up every time. Nah, I think you just every time you want to talk, you just gotta talk, which is crazy. It's a conversation. Like it has to, and that's the thing, y'all. We we have to be more conscious of what's going on. Like even how we're having a conversation, I'm conscious of what's going on with Aisha. I'm conscious of
Absolutely.
obviously what's going on with me on my side.
And
Like
vice versa.
yeah, and I'm listening to what she said. Like we're going. This I feel like this is a good transition to go into the other thing. But some of us as adults, it's so many things that we have been through as children, as adults, as well as adolescents that kind of is causing issues for us today. Okay. Me and Aisha, we're not therapists, we're not doctors, we're not counselors. We are just two real women out here wanting to help the world as we would love for the world to have helped us or help us. Okay.
Exactly.
That's it.
And don't get it wrong, we still learning and we still growing. But like I said, I've been through some things, and to where I'm at now, I know the stuff that I've been through and the steps that I've taken to just be sitting right here and able to just smile freely like I do. I can help somebody go from tragedy to triumphant,
Oh, we
not to do
that
my
part.
own horn, but BB.
Tutu. No, for real, because, and that's the thing, like the people out here have so many gems. No matter who you are, I feel like you have something that you could teach other people. And
Exactly.
we're not trying to be stingy. We trying to give out all our knowledge because I feel the same. Like I had childhood trauma, and at the time I didn't know. I knew about a counselor, but more like the school counselor. But they didn't. They never helped me. Honestly. And I can say even with those situations, I helped myself out of the childhood trauma.
Right.
Um, and that's the question we have in it as well. My trauma throughout my adulthood as well. I helped myself out of it. Now, once I became an adult, I did go to a therapist. Shout out to her because she helped me. I suggest everybody clap it up. Let's clap it up for counseling therapy. Yes, yes, yes. I loved it. Saved my life. In somebody else's. So yeah, I suggest everybody goes to counseling or therapy, whatever, doctors, psychiatrists, however. I strongly suggest it. A professional for sure, definitely.
Definitely. I am in full agreement. I have done it twice myself. The first time, it was more or less, like I said, the stuff that I've been through. And I was more so worried about my daughter. And so I put us in there to make sure she was cool once I realized, some of the things that she had seen and whatever. And so I was like, oh, I got to make sure my baby's straight. Like, forget me. Got to make sure my baby's straight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But when we got to talking to that therapist, and the therapist got to asking her questions about me and my potential mental state during all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and how my daughter like described me as how she saw me during that time to the
Mm-hmm.
therapist, is like, oh baby, I don't want this. This is not how I want my
Mm-hmm.
daughter to see me. It was like only two emotions, that she could point out that she was seeing from me, and I'm just like, even though none of it is directed at her, it's just what I'm going through. It's
Yeah,
just like,
absolutely.
that's crazy. Like what I'm going through is taken away from my child and what she needs from me or who she needs me to be. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was my first incident. The second time recently was for me. Like I could feel that I was off mentally. I could
Mm-hmm.
feel that, baby, call the therapist. Do my insurance. Do you take my insurance? Because I can feel it. I can feel it, and I need somebody. And it's just like for me in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my parents are not go tos. My parents are. I can't go to my parents and say, "This is
Mm-hmm.
how I'm feeling today." X, Y, Z. Da, da, da. I feel like I don't get what I need from there. I don't get
Yeah.
substance from them. So when I could feel the weight I was carrying on my shoulder, I could feel the anger, I could feel the distance I was giving everybody, I could feel it. And it's just like, I gotta check myself. I gotta check on me. I gotta evaluate. I gotta check myself. And so I did a mental health therapy.
Uh-oh, I think you cut out. Can you hear us? I you anymore? I think. Look, it might be the snow. I don't know if it's snowing up there. Okay, we're gonna wait for her to get her connection back. But I'll take over. But yeah, no.
You can hear me?
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
Okay, there I go. I'm like, hold on, I think I was stuck.
yeah,
What
you.
happened? But yes, so I encourage it, and definitely like Maya said, sometimes it's the childhood things that you go through. And for me, it was a mix of both.
Yeah.
Childhood stuff, feeling I just gotta be transparent. And this is just not to out nobody, speak ill on nobody or none of that. But I had to just out my parents for how I feel like they made me feel. And
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, the stuff that I've gone through, I feel like my parents weren't parents to me. So I had to get over those emotions that I was harboring. And to be truthful, like I started trying to do it myself, but
Mm-hmm.
then I realized me doing it myself it didn't get the reaction that I wanted to get.
That you,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
I feel like when I told my father how he really made me feel, I feel like he said okay, and then he went MIA, and then not to again no insult to either one of my parents, but it's just like even to my mom, it was like, girl, okay, I'm dealing with this and that, like you'll be
yeah,
all right. And that's the other thing. Check on y'all strong people. Y'all always the strong people always got to be strong.
yeah.
But the weak
That's
people
true.
always get the support and the help and all of that. And I know this is a little bit off, but strong people need support too. Strong
Absolutely,
people get weak sometimes.
absolutely.
So don't leave them hanging either. When they, especially when tragedies happen in life, you know what I mean? Stand up
Because
and show up for them.
all of us not gonna post it on our social media and say that they
Right.
doing, that we doing bad. We gonna, keep it pushing on the other side of social media, which is not on it, because I know, just basically to touch on what you just said, is like sometimes your mama can't help you through what you're going through. But I am glad that you told them how you feel, because I think that is a part of self love and self healing. Sometimes you got to write it down, take a picture of it, call that person and cuss them out. I know I did a
Hello.
couple times. Like
What?
you have to tell people how you feel. You do,
Right.
because it may hurt their feelings for that time, for that 5 minutes, or for that day or two, and it's fine. I mean, but are you okay? Did it make you feel better? That's what really matters. Did it make you feel better? Um, because yeah, like she was saying, the thing is, not to get into religion, but everybody, well, some people have their own religion, right? So no matter what you believe in, but in a lot of cases, if it's God that you believe in, He really the only person that can really, do, like, get things off your heart. Because I know at one point I was mad at one of my cousins for the longest time. That boy didn't
Mhm.
even know. He didn't even know I was mad at him. And it was like,
That's
Maya, how
crazy.
you mad at this man? And he, like, when I told him, he was like, oh, I didn't even know, cuz. And I was like, I know, that's the problem. I shouldn't even,
Exactly.
I'm harping on this and holding on to it, and you don't even know. Like, I should have been, like, let it go or talk to you about it. And that's the thing, I'm glad I did, y'all. When I tell you, I was on a high, a natural high at the moment, because it's it's not good to hold on to those things, y'all. You have to let it go. You do.
Right.
I mean, get off this live now and call that person. Cuss them out. What's gonna
Yeah.
happen? You can't get in trouble for that. You can't get. Don't touch nobody. But you can't get in trouble for cussing them out. You can't. You cannot at all.
Oh, we had a comment that I just noticed about the black therapist. I mean, about the therapist. And it says, I hear all on seeing, there you go. I hear all on seeing a specialist, but in the black community, that was a thing. It was you go to family and friends and talk about what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the black community, unfortunately, things like going to see a counselor or a therapist is frowned up on. It's like,
Mhm.
unfortunately, in the black community, a lot of stuff gets swept up under the rug, and it's just like, it's
Mhm.
kind of that what goes on here stays here mentality. It's kind of that, what goes on in our house we don't talk about outside of our house, and unfortunately,
I
I feel like
disagree.
that sucks. And
That's
we
the
should not raise
problem.
our kids that way. That's very much the problem, because
So,
then you
mhm.
don't know how to truly channel that anger, because you mad at the person in the house, but that's the only person you can go to talk
You
to,
can talk
or
to.
you know what I mean?
Or let's just say I am mad at mama, and I can
Mhm.
only talk to sister. But
Right.
sister talked to mama. So now mama know what I just told sister. And now
Hello.
me, mama, and sister.
And now we all into it in the house.
And let me just say
Then
this.
mama gonna tell Darlene from down the street, but Darlene from down the street is cool with mama, and Darlene gonna come at you because you wrong for talking to mama like that.
You
So
shouldn't have
when it
you
all boils down to it, you still have no outlet to truly express yourself.
exact, and it's always going to be biased. So,
Yeah.
and let's be clear, because this platform is going to grow tremendously. So I don't want to leave any community out, whether black, Latino,
Right.
um, Asian, whatever,
Whatever. It's
Samoan,
all
it doesn't
welcome.
matter. It's all love. But I do want to say this because what her comment made me think about a TikTok video I seen, and it was a Latino community. They were Latino, and they were basically saying, that little trend that was going out where it's like, tell me that you have a predator in your family without telling me you have one. And like
I can see that.
girl, it was so sad, and it was a lot of girls that was like duetting it because they were like, and one lady, she was like, well, yeah, she said my daddy is arrested for it. She was like, every cookout we would have, my uncle would come and get me, and everybody kind of knew and was okay with it. And she would tell like her grandma would just kind of brush it off. Oh, he's just playing with you, and woo. She'd tell mom, and mom, I don't know what you're talking about. Like it's just it kept being dismissed, and it's just so sad to hear because we are literally groomed to be so consumed with our family when in reality sometimes we have to and need to for our own sake go outside of that and seek help like she's saying.
Right.
And unfortunately in a lot of our communities it's not only frowned upon, it's just, oh, you'll be all right, you don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
who? What?
You don't
I
need
need
to.
something, bro. Like I need something. I need
Yeah.
something.
I need someone, a non-biased, non-judgmental person, and someone who, and sometimes that's even hard too with like therapy because the therapist is kind of listening to you, depending on your therapist, and it could be like they could be voicing their opinions off of what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that can be kind of an issue too. But in the same breath, like if you experience that with a therapist, of course, try to find help in other
A
places
different
or
one.
whatever,
Hmm.
and if possible the whole family need to go.
I was just about to say that. Bring the whole. Look, if you watch, what is it? Atlanta, Impact.
Hmm.
What's her name? Ari brought her whole family to therapy. I loved it. Please do,
That's
because
good.
let's put it out loud on the floor right here,
Right.
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 Let's do that.
Exactly. Absolutely. But absolutely, you have to learn to be able to self evaluate, hold people accountable, hold yourself accountable, and absolutely do not be afraid to go on a journey of healing. Oftentimes, we get older and we still are carrying the hurt from that
Mhm.
traumatized little girl or little boy.
Absolutely.
And when we get older, it's just like, oh, now I'm 57 years old and this is just who I am. And it's just like, you know, you need to address the things
Hmm.
that, like, to kick off yourself. If you are truly wanting to love yourself more and wanting to be in tune with yourself, really show yourself that self love, start with the self evaluation, right?
Hmm.
Go into your childhood, even if you need a journal or what have you, write it down, whatever. If you needed a guided journal or just a flat one to write your own thoughts, get into that, and
Absolutely.
like the question says, what is something from your childhood that stops you from loving yourself properly today? Because it's a lot of us that carry that baggage, whether we realize it or not, from childhood, from being a teenager, from young adulthood, that we still carry. And you don't realize it until you go through some
Oh,
self evaluation and understand, like, dang, I've been angry. And sometimes I get angry and I don't know why I'm angry. But then
yeah.
my mama slapped me when I was like, just an example, but I'm just saying,
Hmm. Hmm.
my mama slapped me when I was 13 and it really hurt, and that pissed me off. I gotta speak to my mom about that. Like,
Right.
even if you have to write it down and maybe not give it to a person, but
Hmm.
write it down, burn it, or what have you, like how they do those plates. Write
Oh
it down,
yeah.
break it.
Hmm.
Find something for you to release because you need to get that out of your system. You need to release all of that hurt, that pain, that anger
Yes.
that
Yes.
you
Let
have
it
been
go.
harboring for years and years and years and years, because whether you know it or not, it affects you when you get older. And then this hurt child has grown up to this hurt adult. And guess
Adult.
what? You have kids, and now you're displaying that hurt on your children, and
Mhm.
boom, cycle continues. Somewhere
It's
we gotta break that cycle. Somewhere
yeah.
we gotta break the generational curses and
Hmm.
stop them life cycles from happening. And the only way that's gonna start
It's
is
with
when we
yourself.
evaluate ourselves.
Yep, it's with yourself. I agree. And everything she said, I've done, crying it out. Sometimes, y'all, man or female, I know even some females, like, I don't cry or I don't like crying. And a lot of us don't. I don't like crying, but baby, I will let it all out. As
Yeah,
soon as I can, I will let it out. And it's because y'all have to think about it. I know for me personally, it was kind of like, it was just stuff, building up. And it got to here, and it's like, so the moment something happened that ticked me off, oh baby, I'm overflowing. I'm
yeah,
overflowing because I haven't been able to release it. Like, y'all need to bring it as far
right,
down as you can. If you can empty it out, that is lovely. That's the goal. Honestly, that's the goal. But at least get some of it out because it's,
right.
it's it's not a healthy thing. Cause yeah, y'all, we this our first show, so I don't want to get too deep, but this is I've loved it thus far. But like she said, all of that, journal it out, write it out, send a letter to the person if you need to, burn it, pray about it,
Absolutely.
dance. I remember being young and I would just love to be in the rain, just I was going through my little look at the time for specifically it was like my little eighth grade problems, seventh grade
Yeah,
problems, but even as a kid, and I don't like the fact that a lot of people will make the comment. Let's see, if hold on. Well, I'm gonna finish that, but I'm gonna put her comment up. But I don't like the fact that a lot of people say, "Well, kids is fine. They ain't nothing wrong with them. They're not depressed." They may not know that they're depressed, and you may not know that they're depressed, but they might be something might be wrong with that kid.
yeah.
So let's see. I love for my kids to open up to me about anything that's going on in their life, and I give them that, and I have no problem answering anything they ask, and I try to give my best answer, which is great.
I love that for your kids because a
Hmm.
lot of parents, you too young to understand this. You too young for this and that. But you know what? This world don't say these kids is too young to expose them to all the stuff that these kids are exposed to. So why are they too young to come home and ask mama? They supposed to be go-to person and all of
That part.
this for questions. But mom don't want to answer it. So
Hmm.
now or dad don't want to answer. So now they're going by what they see out here in the world. So I love the fact that you have that open relationship with your kids because it is absolutely necessary. And I try to do that with my kids too. I know like my daughter is usually afraid to say, if something has happened, and I feel like she's gonna get in trouble, like if somebody does something to her. And so I try to make it very clear, like I'm always on your side, whether I'm upset or not, rather something happens and it upsets me. Understand it's always an open line of communication. And I always want you to come and tell me because I can't fight for you or I can't give you the answers you need or whatever, the resolution needs to
Oh,
be if I don't know,
yeah.
And so
Gotta
like my kids are very open. So I definitely love that because kids need it too. You know what I mean? It starts with kids and they
yeah.
need it. Absolutely they need it. Like we can't just shut kids down because we feel like they're kids and they don't understand. Nowadays, kids understand more than we think they
Oh
understand.
yes, they do. Yes, they
So
do.
it's necessary.
And they have feelings too. Um,
Absolutely.
they have feelings too. I'm laughing because this is my mom.
Hey mama.
Look, I think she wanted to shout out, but yes, no, shout out to my mama for real though, because not only is she the first and only person to comment, but my mama has been there, like my whole baby. Listen, my mama was the judge, honey. She was the police officer for. She was the
See,
rescuer. Do you hear me? My
and you
GPS.
need that. You need
Listen,
that. If you feel like you can't go to your mama, honey,
that's
who you
been
gonna go
it,
to?
and that's sad, and that's the thing, like. I almost bring tears to my eyes because I'm thinking about somebody's situation who I love dearly, and it's like that's kind of what they're going through. Like they can't go to their mom,
Mhm.
like and it's a sucky situation. Like I said, I don't want to get too deep about stuff because it's the first show we've been on for almost an
Oh, and we
hour.
gonna get deeper, but today we
It
just
is
gonna
gonna be. It
that.
is gonna get deeper because. But I just want to say that. Um,
Thank you, Mama.
Right, thank you, Mama. But I just want to say as well, though, to the moms and the fathers, because as much as I love my parents, we had our quarrels for sure. With
Right.
I've had quarrels with both of them, um, and oh, look at this comment. Oh, thank you.
That's what I said. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you so much. Thank you, seriously, thank you. Um, but yeah, so I've had my quarrels with my family, with my parents. However, I wouldn't change it for the world. If I had to go through those things to get where we are now, because I'm being real. Like I had to tell my daddy how I felt about
Right.
how he treated me because, sir, again, like even as a young kid, I didn't know how, but I knew it wasn't right. Like I didn't how he was treating me, I didn't feel right about it.
Right.
Sometimes how when me and my mama went through, I didn't feel right about it. So as I got older and was able to get over the nervousness of talking to your parents a certain way, I didn't cuss them out.
Yeah.
However, I told them about themselves, you know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
bumped heads or whatever the case may be, but I just felt like it was needed for me to get past what I needed to get past in order to continue to love myself properly and to heal because I felt some type of way about it. And I think everybody should do that. He's funny. I know him. Mama, you got to laugh
I
at
can
me.
imagine, as a parent, sometimes that's what we want to do, and I know my mama did it, okay?
Now let
But
me
listen,
for
at the end
context.
of the day,
For
sometimes
context.
it's necessary. And then, when they get older,
Mhm.
the communication is also necessary.
Exactly. It's the most important thing I feel like because without communication, there is nothing. But what I was going to say though as well is that you have to if you love. I feel like as okay for me as a parent, I love myself. I do.
Hmm.
But I also don't ever want my children not to have love, feel love for themselves, or for me not to love them, right?
Right.
Because it affects kids. Like a lot of people that's out here that don't have their mother or father in their life. I'm sorry, but you made that child feel less than. You did because where are you? Why are you not in their life?
Exactly.
And it may not be obviously not 10 times out of 10 is not the child's fault
Right.
that you're not there. However, you make that child feel less than, and then that child does grow up to be an adult and feeling unloved, and it's not a good thing, to for a lot of people, for them being in a relationship. Shoot, sometimes for just them being somebody in society, to be honest with you, because it's just stuff again, piled up, piled up, piled up, piled up, piled up. So you know what I mean.
Right.
So you
I was
have to.
one of those kids, I feel like my parents, I'm not gonna say that they weren't great parents, or
Mhm.
maybe they did all that they could do, but I feel like for me and like my dad, never, ever, hardly ever around, So when I got
Mhm.
older in recent times, I got on his tail. Like, listen, this is how you made me feel. And for a couple of phone calls, I gave it to him every time to the point where I
For
made him
sure.
feel like, dang. Like I told him every time he called, you just failed me as a parent. Like we could be talking about the kid's birthday
Mhm.
or something, and it just took me into you failed me as a parent. And I had to let him know, I feel like you failed me as a parent. Like, yeah, maybe you felt like you did all you could do, but I
You
don't
could do
feel
better.
like you did all
Mhm.
you could do. And I feel like there was times in me coming up as a young adult to where you could have stopped what you had going on and said, okay, this is a point where I need to be here
Mhm.
for my daughter, no
Mhm.
matter what I have going on, and let me just show up. At
That
those point in times, that could have made our relationship better. But now that I have gotten all of that off my chest, yeah, now we're building. Now he's showing up
that's
as
good.
a he's trying to show up as a father, but I'm still going through my emotions.
Of
And
course.
I'm more accepting. I answer the phone now,
Yeah.
he ain't always by his name. Sometimes he dead now. But
Right. Right.
or
You
sir,
gotta earn that now.
right.
You gotta earn that.
Right. And it's like for my kids, I allow him to play his grandfather role, but I still be like, sir, you failed me as a parent. I still don't know. But I'm much better. I've come a long way with
That's
him.
good. Yeah.
And it's just like with my mom too, it's just like, again, you failed me as a parent. That's
Hmm.
just how I feel. And people have said, well, maybe, she felt like she was giving, and I get it. 4 kids is a lot. You're a single parent, you gotta work 2 jobs, and I get that. But
Yeah.
listen, I'm a single mom of 2, and I'm not comparing, but I just know for me, I'm gonna make my not saying that she didn't make us, priority, but for me, I'm showing up for my 2. That
Absolutely.
mean I gotta use a lunch break to go to an award ceremony. If I gotta take a half a day and use a little bit of PTO to go to a graduation ceremony, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
Valentine's
You're
Day,
gonna do that.
birthday cupcakes, whatever, I show up for my kids. And people just have to understand, for me, it's like I feel like my parents didn't show up for me like they could have. So I make it a point to show up for mine so
Hmm.
that, at least they know I'm there and they have me to lean on and to hey Shantae, to lean on and to be there for them, because I don't want my kids to grow up and feel anything that I felt. I instill in them, every day, you are beautiful. Good morning. When I wake up in the morning, good morning, my beauties. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's us. We started with our kids, and what we instill in our kids is what they grow up to be, and
Yeah.
how we teach them to love themselves. So you gotta start. Like, you gotta start them
Yeah.
young.
And I was just gonna say, for context, I feel like your mom, whatever she may be going through, went
Mhm.
through, she has to have every right to take care of herself so that she could have done better for y'all. Good night, mama.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Thank you so much. Love you, mama.
I exactly know exactly what you're saying, and I feel like that too. And I just feel like at some point I would say, my grandma not mean. She didn't do nothing to them. But then I had to step back and say, you know what? I can't take their reality away from them
That part,
for
that
what
part.
they may have experienced with my grandmother and grandfather.
And them
I
grandmas
can only go by
change.
with how she treats me as a granddaughter.
That part, them grandmas change. I didn't
Yeah,
witness it with my mama and my grandmother. I've witnessed
right.
they changed. With that next generation, they change.
But I feel like this too. If something did happen to the point to where your mother or father or whoever made you feel some type of way, at some point you can't hold that forever.
You can, absolutely, and you can't, because I got family in my family members who definitely is holding on to parent hurt,
Yeah,
and you know I'm not judging because I get it. I had parent hurt. I've had it, so I can speak on it. You can let it go. Again, whether you gotta listen, I am not an advocate of violence at all, but I'm just saying
right,
some things may lead to some things, and if it do, I just
right.
hope you feel better after it. But you gotta cuss them out, write a letter, go to a smashing crash place where you could go into the building and, take a bet to a car, throw
Oh,
plates.
that is
Go
the
get
best.
it yourself. You go to the dollar store. It's dollar store. You could go get cups and just glass stuff for $1. Well, of course it's $1.25 now, but it's still cheap. But you can go do that and just being genuine about it. Like, I low key need, like, go to a gym. Like, I would love to right now. I got some boxing gloves.
Right,
I need to let it out. Just need to let it
right.
out. And that's a part of the self love. Going back to what our topic is, that's part of self love. Right now, I'm not gonna get in. And then I be watching what's it? I'm not ashamed, but what is it? The Zeus Network, baby. I be watching them people fight. I be like, oh, if that was me, I'll
Some of them, yeah.
oh, yeah. So I probably need to stop watching it.
Right. I believe in that too. Another part of self love is what you feed yourself.
Oh yeah,
So if you
that's true.
always watching violence, you gonna want to be violent. I gotta balance. I love Kevin Gates and I love Moneybag Yo, but I gotta turn on my CC Winans. I gotta turn on my Tasha Cobbs. I gotta get into it because I gotta have balance. And I feel like for me, how I speak to myself and start my day is gonna choose how my day goes. If I start that day with that Kevin Gates, somebody get cussed out that day. But if I start with Tasha Cobbs and I might end with a little, Kevin Gates, it might be a little cuss out, but a little laughter, like a little mix.
Yeah.
But I just feel like whatever you feed yourself is also another way that you love yourself, and it also pours into your actions.
No, I agree. I agree. I absolutely agree. Just like again, we because this is the thing. Self love. We could go about this all day.
All
I'm
day.
just say this to my ladies, to my especially to my younger girls, but also to the women. In my age as well, all ages, y'all, y'all. Just because you see the Instagram models, the girls with the for you or for OnlyFans page. Oh, she said. I thought she said. Oh no, I said Zeus Network. My the Zeus, the baddies. I was talking about the baddies. Shantae, because she in the. I was talking about the.
Blue channel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The zoo. This pretty much is the zoo channel. They be acting
They
crazy.
do be having some interesting stuff on there too. I
Pretty
love
much.
sharks and the animals like the lions and stuff, but that's go
Yeah.
ahead. I'm
No,
not scared of lions, tigers, and bears. Okay,
at
but go
all.
ahead.
But But yeah, so yeah, yes, the only I just feel like me personally, number one, let me focus on the point because I know some women and men, but I'm talking about the women because the I get it, making a coin, getting to the bag. I do. I overstand it because I'm a hustler and but it's okay to be modest. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. And let me tell you this, it's not self-love just because you're doing what everybody else does. Like some women be like, "Well, I love my figure." And that's good. I love that you love your figure. Big, small, and in between, but don't think that in order to get love or the likes and stuff that you need to be revealing. You don't. You do.
Yes. There's so many women out here that flaunt and flaunt and flaunt. And I be like, that's all you got to offer? That's
Y'all
all you got to
devaluing
offer?
us. Y'all
Exactly.
devaluing us. Straight
Yes.
up. These men
But
don't.
when that's all you got to offer, think about what you're gonna attract.
And like she said, like that,
And
and that's what I was saying, like feeding yourself because, and even with y'all men, why
yeah,
y'all follow all them half naked women?
that
For
too.
what?
Yeah.
That and then you wonder why you have that addict. I'm just saying, like self. Let's follow. Like, how about you find somebody who like okay, if you're interested in fixing cars, okay, follow some people who fix cars. Like let's take away some of the women because you could go somewhere and find all of that. I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
y'all, because we don't get
I
into
feel
all of
like it's
that.
a lot of men who don't know their own self-worth. It's a lot of men who
I
don't.
agree.
Like, you think because you got money and you think because you got all these women flocking to you
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, that you the man and that's cute. But for a real woman that's really, like, wanting a real man and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's not cute.
It's
It's
not.
not cute.
It's not attractive for
It's
women. But
nasty.
but let's clap it up first for the men because listen, y'all
I'm just
follow.
playing because yeah, some of y'all men be out there be talking about I be man bashing, I be trying to go, but no, I just need men to understand they worthy of more than multiple
Y'all
women
are
sometimes.
seriously serious. Like, don't be letting these women dog y'all out.
Right.
Don't listen, do because I don't care how bad she is. I don't care. Does she have as much money as you have in your bank account?
Can she take herself to Ruth Chris while she wants you to take her to Ruth Chris?
Can
Or
she look? Can she
cheesecake
can?
worthy? She might be cheesecake worthy, and you might have did right by taking her to Cheesecake Factory. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And really, on the first date, she wants some Ruth Chris. I feel like
Let's
go
be
ahead,
realistic.
go ahead,
Let
Mike.
let I'm just saying, and this is the thing. This is the thing. Y'all have to know. And the sad thing is, it's kind of like a opposites attract, right? So the broke girl is attracted to the man who's successful. The successful man is attracted to the girl who looks good, but she broke. I don't understand it. Like
But
we
it
have.
should be, if that's the case, and the successful person, not saying it's their responsibility, but if that's the type of person they're encountering, they should be able to help them level up. Like I did this, that, and the third to level up my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm,
Not
mm-hmm.
she or he down bad and they up here, and all they want is buy me this purse, buy me this wallet, I need this watch. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point we gotta level up and we both gotta be on the same page. And if that's not happening, then that's not it. So we gotta move around. That's
That
the part
you
of
have
work.
to, cause it's y'all, men. We
Yeah,
love y'all. We do.
we really do.
We really do. Like seriously. Like I love men. I'm just I love men.
Ooh,
I
it's funny.
like look at me. I love men. I do. Like I do. And again, all day. All day.
Mine is wonderful.
Like y'all, mine is too. I love mine. I love my man. I do. But overall, I love me. And that's why I had to shout y'all out because, like sometimes, I get it. Y'all be, what Pac say, a sucker for love. And
Mhm.
that's cool and all. But just don't be, and this is, I'm saying this constructively because I was once this person. My heart is, so the thing is, we're not dumb, it's our heart. That's
Right.
really what it be. Our heart is really foolish, has no brain. Literally, it has no brain. Like,
Yeah.
so I get it, but y'all have to love yourself too. Y'all really do. And if it is turning down the attractive woman, that's fine. Because listen, you have to first love yourself to attract the person that actually is going to love you. Sometimes y'all be attracting
Exactly.
women who love Ruth Chris or who love for where the men that who gonna cash out my Amazon cart or my Fashion Over cart. Can you cash it out?
Right. Exactly.
Like,
Cause how long it's been sitting in your cart, and why you ain't pay for it yet?
look, she said yes. Come on, I love my man. Be glad when I can say that. Shout
Right.
out to Shantae, man.
Yes.
If you see this,
He
your
coming,
baby
sis.
trying
He
to,
coming.
huh?
Shantae's got a man at home. Come on,
Hey.
Shantae. He coming. Come on. Remember what I told you to get there, but we gonna get there. So
And that's
yeah.
the thing, like y'all, I'm really, really enjoying this live because as y'all see, like the thing is, y'all have the Kevin Samuels, we Kevin Samuels cancellation group, okay? Even though he was making he see the reason I liked him though is because he was stating facts. It was just the way he was coming at it, and like as well as attacking women and
Yeah.
trying to make it seem like men, like no, we're all up here.
Right.
We're all like, if we go up, y'all come up. If y'all come up, we come up. Like,
Right.
let's not do that, okay? Because I feel like that's self love too. And let's be clear, if you live an alternative life, that's your business, okay?
Right.
That's your business. However, same thing. Don't let nobody do you wrong.
And especially in those type of relationships, because I feel like those type of relationships carry the most probably domestic violence
Yeah.
situation. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so you got to stand on for real business if you are in one of those type of situations, because just as much as me being heterosexual, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
you have to stand on you and love you and not let nobody treat you anyway but how you treat you. And that's
Right.
just period, no matter what you are, who you are, what race,
Period.
whatever the sexual preference, whatever. You gotta stand
Yep.
on business about you.
Religion, all of that.
Period.
And excuse me. I want to say, hold on, did I lose my train of thought? I was going to say that, um, dang it, I'm like, did I lose my train of thought?
Write it down, girl.
I know. I think I was just going to say though, like, so at the end of the day, we just have to get, that's the goal here, is to get to the bottom of how to love ourselves, right?
Right.
So I think today the biggest nugget would be to let it go. I think that's where we're gonna start it at. Let's let it go. Let it all go. Let the pain go. Let the, and the thing is too, a lot of us are hurt because we weren't that person when we were in high school or junior high. But you gotta think about it, you were a kid, babe. You were a
Right.
kid. We were kids. It wasn't up to
And
us.
there's no book on life. You got to think about it. The way you see life is different from how I see life because we're all going on the previous people who raised us experiences.
Hmm.
So understand there's no, to me, there's no right or wrong way. It's just based upon how you were raised and how you were taught.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
don't beat yourself up.
And a lot of us don't. I know I didn't. Well, my daddy actually did teach me self love. He would see, we would be at a restaurant. He'd be like, I don't care who's watching. I stand up and hug myself right now. And he would stand up and just hug himself. And I'm looking like, this is kind of weird, but I get his point. I absolutely get
Right.
his point. I
Absolutely.
do. What she say?
She finna transition us out because I feel like Shantae, correct me if I'm wrong. This is what you're asking. Like, how do you sometimes let it go? As Maya was saying, like the biggest takeaway from today is letting go. Is that what you're asking?
Right, right. So, cause she said, how do you? And if that is what you're talking about, it is. We spoke on it because I think you joined us later, but we did speak on that. But yeah, clarify for us, Shantae. Is that what you mean? That it's easier said than done to let things go? Okay, yeah. You want to speak on it first?
Absolutely, because we gonna close this out with tips on how to start this. And to sum up, I feel like what Maya is saying, the self evaluation. You're not gonna know how to let things go and all of that until you start with yourself. No, girl, you good. You are good that you were late. It's okay, Shantae.
Yeah, no, yeah, you fine, you fine.
Um, but it has to start with self evaluation. You're not gonna know exactly what to let go or what's needed of you until you start with self evaluation. And to me, that's going to be like the people you surround yourself with. Because when you surround yourself with certain people, it's going to be a different type of energy you give. You know what I mean? And no, you want it to be, I guess, people who speak to your future, right? So if you are surrounding yourself by people who are successful, if you are surrounding yourself with people who are big on themselves and they know when to say no, and they know when to let go, walk away, stop talking, when to argue, when not to argue, they pick and choose their battles, you know? When you surround yourself with that type of circle, you'll start learning and mimicking the behaviors that you see. I feel like the evaluation of you is necessary because when you learn what it is that you want around you, within you, and what you want to see, it'll be easy to say, okay, I've endured this more than one time. I'm
Hmm.
not doing it again. This is a no for me. It's an absolute no. And you will never let yourself be put in that situation again. You know what I mean? Like you have to grow in order to know what you will and won't tolerate. You get what I'm saying? That makes sense.
Hmm.
And I just feel like, there's other things that you can do to kind of like evaluate yourself. Um, I feel like taking care of you, like you got to take care of you. You can't keep allowing John Henry to keep playing on your emotions and coming back. And then they want to play on your emotions and come back, right? So first time, they played on your emotions and you may have forgiven them. But you got to remember when people feel like they can play with you, they going to keep playing with you until you be like, nah. You know what I mean? So, like, if John Henry keeps saying, oh, I cheated on her once, she ain't going nowhere. She stayed the first time. She going to stay every other time I did. No, set them boundaries. Put your feet down. John, you did it once. You're not gonna do it again. I'm not to be played with. I don't play with me like this. You can't play with me like
You're
this.
not gonna do
So
that.
you got to
Yeah.
go. And a lot of times we feel like dealing with people, especially when we got previous hurt and childhood trauma and stuff like that, we feel like we gotta deal with these people. We don't know how to leave and we don't know how to let go. But again, when you heal all of that, letting go is not gonna be a question. It's just gonna be done.
Period.
Right,
Yep.
with that self-evaluation. And of course, if need be, we could come later, drop in the comments some questions or some
Mhm.
things to help you start with evaluating yourself, so you know kind of where to go, some book recommendations, what have you, things that I've gone through myself, because I was a person of forgiving. I would always give people 30, 40, 50 multiple chances. And I feel like for me, it took me realizing I was that way because of my dad. My dad failed me over and over and over and over again, but I'm
Mhm.
constantly forgiving, trying to build with him. And it's like, why am
And
I
there's
keep
nothing wrong with
doing
that.
right?
It's just at some point you gotta, like, because a lot of us are keep calling people complaining about it, being
Yeah,
hurt. But at some point, like she did, you gotta learn how to cut people off. And
yeah.
I would say, like you said, it's easier said than done. But I would suggest Shantae and to anybody else who needs to hear this, start with a professional as well. I know for me at the time when I very first went to a therapist or counselor, however you want to put it, um, I was in an abusive relationship, and the person literally was. I was starting to believe that something was wrong with me, and
Yeah.
that is why this person was treating me the way that they were. So I needed help because I'm like, am I, a narcissist? They were calling me a narcissist. They were calling me a lot of things that just absolutely wasn't true. But
The whole
it,
time it was him.
you know, but I needed a professional
Right.
because I was literally being brainwashed and everything. So I would say yes, like she said, self evaluation. Definitely, if you can, seek a therapist. And I hope that didn't come out being funny. Seek a therapist, but no, seriously, like go to counseling and stuff. And we may have to make a group, or actually, I may post it just on my page. But a lot of us fail to realize we have a thing called EAP. It's employee, what is it?
Assistance program.
Employee assisted program, right? You
Yeah.
could get 3 free. Every company's different, but I know for most the ones that I've been with, you get 3 free sessions with the counselor, therapist, whatever. After those 3 sessions, you either stick with them and start to pay them or have you their regular prices, or you can find another one. Let's say you didn't like that person, you could not relate to them, or you feel like they couldn't relate to you, ask for another one. Boom, go to that person, get your first 3 ones free, and you can really keep however you need to play it. But once you find somebody that's good for you and you feel like they're helping you, stick to them. um but yeah, but also we have to be real with ourselves and realize some people go to therapy and they just not trying to hear what they saying, even
Yeah.
though they're giving them a professional answer. And they just like, well, you telling me that I'm the problem. Okay,
Yeah.
well, baby, you the problem then. A professional's letting you know. But I would say start there though. Yeah, self evaluation, like she said, therapy, counseling, journaling. I put some of them at the bottom. Write it down, burn it. Like, and also the last one, I'm gonna leave it with this: take time to yourself. That's the
Absolutely.
very first thing, y'all, because like my mama said, shout out to my mama. You were born in this world by yourself. You gonna
And
die by yourself.
so,
So guess what? You can go to that park and sit down by yourself. You can go to that movie theater and have enjoy yourself, eat by yourself. I don't care if you got a girlfriend. I don't care that you married. That doesn't matter. It's you by yourself. Always it's gonna be you by yourself. I promise you. It's gonna be you by yourself. So in order to be by yourself, and like me, I thoroughly enjoy time by myself.
and it's
I like
necessary.
I love being by myself. Like I laugh. I'm funny. I'm good company. Like I
Man,
make it real comfortable and cold. Like I thoroughly enjoy being by myself. Like I do.
yeah.
I will get mad if I can't enjoy my me time. I'm getting irritated because me and me is expecting a date with me. So
I feel you.
What's going
And
on?
don't be ashamed to be about you. Take yourself on a date. Take yourself to the movies, out to eat. Buy yourself flowers. I was big on that in the last year. I would let my kids pick them out, but of course I was buying them. But yes, buy yourself flowers. But at the end of the day, just to end this, like Maya said, take time out for yourself because that's really when the self reflection and all of that is going to start. You got to think about your past and the things you've been through and stuff you don't want to go through and tolerate no more. That's going to help
Absolutely.
you basically get over and learn to set boundaries and that sort of thing.
Mhm. Yep.
So we just definitely want to end it like that. Maya definitely put some tips in the bottom for you guys if you want to start your journey or if you want to message us, privately just to talk a little
Please
bit more on where to
do.
go. You absolutely can do that. Um, but I've really enjoyed this today. Don't want to take up too much more time.
Me too.
So we will be back with some more
Will.
of course. Again, live on YouTube, Facebook. We're gonna incorporate. I think IG was on here tonight, but if not, we'll incorporate that. TikTok, I couldn't get it up, but we're gonna incorporate that. So whatever your
We're gonna
favorite
figure it
platform
out.
is,
Yeah.
yep, get up on
Oh,
there. Oh, get up on there, follow, subscribe, tag people who you think need it. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, let us know. Answer those questions and look forward to more. I am Aisha Shermaine, and if you don't follow me on all social media at Aisha Shermaine.
please do. Yes, yes. And same here. This is I am Maya, but Maya Jean Leroy is my name on all social media.
That's her
So
name. Follow her at her name. I
that's
like
long.
when you
It's
say your whole name, like it just sounds
Oh, you're
professional.
like, oh, well, thank you, thank
Yeah,
you. But yeah, y'all, it's pretty long, so yeah, just Maya will do. It's fine. But yes, we thank y'all so much for the people who just
absolutely.
viewed the live, the people that came back to watch it, commented. Yes, that's somebody I know. Yes, please start writing down your thoughts. I think it's so. And then another thing, because you can go back to it as well. I think
Yes,
that's very helpful. You can see, I know for my journal, next time I'm gonna bring it on the live, but my journal, I literally can go back and just be like, wow, I've come a long way. I've come a long way.
right.
So please start writing them down. And Shantae, thank you. Yes, watch our, yes, replay
Absolutely.
it. Yes, because
That's my
we were
girl.
giving out some gems. Yes, yes, yes.
And understand too, the more we get into this, you will learn more about me and Maya if you don't know, if you aren't familiar, because of course it's our journeys that brought us here. And in case you don't know, we used to work together, so that's
We
how we,
did.
we came together.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So we're not strangers to each other. In
not at
in
all.
in me and her, I think I could speak for the both of us. We always gave good energy, even though it was a lot of
Yes.
haters where we were. But you know, we love our haters. We do.
Right.
All of y'all, hugs and kisses, because we know y'all need our love, and that's why y'all was hating on us, because y'all wanted to be around us, and we were welcoming. We still welcoming. So come on in. We love y'all.
Right. And we will see y'all on the next episode.
I'm
Mwah.
excited. I wish it was today. This is, we'll see y'all next
We'll let
time.
y'all know
Thank
what
you.
it is. But thanks
Yes, thank
again.
you for tuning in. Bye.
Have a good night.